What if I told you that two of the most stressful things about having a newborn are completely unnecessary? First, those endless grunts, whimpers, and squirming noises your baby makes all night, they're not a sign that they're awake and need you. It's a lie. See, newborns spend most of their time in an active, REM-like sleep. But unlike us, they don't have the sleep paralysis that keeps our bodies still. So they're basically just dreaming with the sound effects on. And this is where we make our biggest mistake. We hear noise and we rush in. We pick them up, we wake them up. So the most powerful thing you can do in that moment is pause. Just give them 60 seconds. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not rescuing a waking baby, you're waking a sleeping one. And that one simple piece of knowledge, that 60-second pause, that's everything. As I record this, we're expecting our third child to arrive literally any day now. It's made me realize the biggest difference between our first baby and our third isn't the gear we've bought, it's the knowledge we've gained. With our first, my husband and I were a wreck. Every tiny grunt, every cry felt like a high-stakes mystery we had to solve, and we were just constantly exhausted. That's why I'm here, to share the critical, anxiety-reducing lessons we learned the hard way so you can have more confidence and a lot less stress. We've tackled the myth of the noisy sleeper, but that's just the beginning. Now, let's talk about the other thing that wastes so much of our time and energy. And that, my friends, is burping. Oh, the hours I wasted. I have this crystal clear memory from my first child. It's 3 in the morning, the house is silent, and I have this fragile, sleeping baby on my shoulder. I'm patting his back so gently, terrified to stop, convinced that if I didn't get that one magical burp, he would wake up screaming in 10 minutes. It was a prison of my own making, and it was all based on a myth. A study I found later confirmed it. Babies who are burped are no more or less fussy than babies who aren't. For most healthy, full-term babies, it's just not necessary. So please, hear me. If your baby falls asleep during a feeding, you do not need to wake them up for a burp. You can gently transfer them to their bassinet. You have my permission to reclaim those hours of your life. Speaking of transfers, that brings me to the first tool in our survival kit, the Swaddle. The magic of the Swaddle isn't just that it feels like a cozy hug. It recreates that snug feeling of the womb, but more importantly, it dampens their startle reflex. You know, that thing where they suddenly throw their arms out and wake themselves up? A good, snug swaddle stops that, which makes the transfer from your warm arms to the cool crib about 1,000 times more successful. But soothing isn't just about what we do to the baby, it's about what we learn from them. This is where you put on your detective hat. Crying is a late sign of hunger. Before they get to that frantic point, they are giving you a whole host of clues. We just have to learn the language. First, there's the I'm hungry cue. They'll start rooting, turning their head from side to side looking for the source. They'll bring their hands to their mouth. They'll make little smacking sounds with their lips. When you see this, that's your signal. Don't wait for the tears. Second, the I'm getting tired cue. This one is subtle. It's not just yawning. It's that blank, 1,000-yard stare. It's when they start avoiding eye contact, or the classic, rubbing their eyes and ears. When you see that, their wake window is closing. It's time to start winding down for a nap before they become overtired and even harder to settle. And the third clue, the one we often mistake for grumpiness, is the I'm overstimulated signal. Watch their little hands. Are they balled into tight fists? Are they arching their back or turning their head sharply away from you or a noisy toy? That is your baby's only way of saying, it's too much, I need quiet, I need a break. It's not a rejection of you, it's a request for peace. Learning these cues feels like unlocking a superpower. Now, once you've identified the need, what's the most powerful soothing tool you have? It's leveraging their innate need to suck. Sucking isn't just for nutrition, it's a biological calming mechanism. It literally triggers the release of calming hormones in their brain. And yes, this means we need to talk about pacifiers. I know. For years, we were all terrified of nipple confusion. It was a valid concern, but the science has moved on. For a baby over 3 or 4 weeks old, once breastfeeding is well established, the fear of nipple confusion is largely unfounded. And here's the most important part, the reason I am so passionate about this. The American Academy of Pediatrics has found that offering a pacifier at nap time and bedtime is associated with a reduced risk of SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. Let me say that again. It can be a life-saving tool. So let's reframe it. A pacifier isn't a bad habit or a parenting crutch. It's a powerful, science-backed tool that can help calm your baby, satisfy their biological needs, and most importantly, help keep them safe while they sleep. So you've got the swaddle down, you're reading the cues, the pacifier is working its magic, you're finally feeling like you have a handle on things. And then 5 o'clock in the evening rolls around, and it's like a different baby emerges, one that cries inconsolably for hours. Nothing works. Not feeding, not rocking, not shushing. If you've been through this, you know how absolutely soul-crushing it feels. You question everything you're doing. You feel like a complete failure. I need you to hear this. You are not failing. Welcome to what parents call the witching hour, or what researchers call the period of purple crying. It is a completely normal, well-documented developmental phase. Here's the roadmap so you know it has an end. It usually starts around 2 weeks of age, gets more intense, and peaks around 6 to 8 weeks, where it can last for 5 or more hours a day, and then, like magic, it resolves itself by 3 to 4 months. The most important part of that timeline is the word resolves. It ends. And during it, you are not doing anything wrong. Your baby is not in pain in the way we understand it. It can look like they're in agony, but this is neurological, not neglect. Your baby is simply doing their developmental job, and your only job is to get through it, one day at a time, knowing it is temporary. But the challenges you can hear, like the crying we just talked about, are often far less dangerous than the ones that are silent. And that's what we need to talk about right now, because understanding newborn development is one thing, but keeping them safe is everything. I want to share 3 of the most critical, life-saving rules you might not have been taught. These aren't suggestions. These are non-negotiable, backed by the highest authorities in pediatric medicine, like the American Academy of Pediatrics. Let's start with the one that happens every single day. Silent danger number 1, letting your baby sleep in their car seat outside of the car. We've all been there. You finally get home, you look in the rearview mirror, and the baby is sound asleep. The last thing on earth you want to do is wake them. It is so tempting to just unclick the car seat from its base, carry it inside, and let them finish their nap. Please, I am begging you, do not do this. A car seat is a transportation device, not a sleeping device. When it's not clicked into its base at the proper angle, a baby's head can slump forward, putting their chin on their chest. Now, I want you to imagine a garden hose. If you crimp it, what happens? The flow of water stops. Your baby's airway is like that tiny hose. That chin-to-chest position can crimp it, silently cutting off their ability to breathe. It's called positional asphyxiation, and it is a silent killer. It doesn't involve crying or struggling, they just stop breathing. On top of that, car seats are insulated and can cause a baby to overheat quickly. So the rule is simple and absolute. If the car ride is over, the baby comes out of the seat, even if they wake up. A cranky, awake baby is infinitely better than the alternative. Silent danger number 2, believing the myth that teething causes fevers. This one is so common it feels like a fact, but it is a dangerous piece of misinformation. Let me be perfectly clear. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, teething does not cause a true fever. It might make a baby fussy, it might cause them to drool, it might even lead to a very slight rise in temperature. But it will not cause a fever, which is defined as a rectal temperature of 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit or 38 degrees Celsius. Let's play out 2 scenarios. Scenario A. A parent notices their 2-month-old is fussy and feels warm. They see a little drool, feel a swollen gum, and think, oh, it's just teething. They give the baby a teething toy and try to get some sleep. Scenario B. The same situation, but this parent knows the rule. They take their baby's temperature. The thermometer beeps 100.8. They know anything over 100.4 is a red flag in a newborn. They call their pediatrician's after-hours line immediately. That call leads to a hospital visit, where doctors discover the baby has a serious urinary tract infection that, left untreated, could have become life-threatening. In Scenario A, a parent's good intentions, fueled by a myth, could lead to tragedy. In Scenario B, a parent's knowledge leads to life-saving action. Please be the parent in Scenario B. A fever in a young infant is a medical issue until a doctor tells you otherwise. Finally, silent danger number 3, the beautiful but deadly crib. Go on social media and you will see these gorgeous nurseries. They have plush bumpers, fluffy blankets, adorable stuffed animals, and cute little pillows. They look so cozy and inviting. And they are also death traps. All of those soft, lovely items are suffocation hazards. All of them increase the risk of SIDS, or sudden infant death syndrome. It can feel almost cold or sterile to put your baby in a crib that contains nothing but a firm mattress with a tightly fitted sheet. It can feel like you're depriving them of comfort. I need you to completely reframe that thinking. That bare crib is not empty. It is a fortress of protection. It is not lacking. It is lovingly prepared. Choosing to have nothing in that crib with your baby is a conscious, powerful act. It is the ultimate expression of your love, prioritizing their safety above aesthetics. The experts at Red Nose Australia and the AAP all agree on this one simple phrase: bare is best. No bumpers, no blankets, no pillows, no toys. Just your baby on their back in a safe, empty space. You are giving them the safest environment to sleep, and there is nothing more loving than that. Okay, take a deep breath with me. We've just covered some incredibly heavy but life-saving information. And now I want to shift from preventing harm to proactively building your baby's strength in one of the most beautiful, connecting ways possible. Let's talk about tummy time. I know for many of us, those 2 words bring up images of a baby face planted on a playmat, crying while we anxiously watch the clock. It can feel like a dreaded chore, but I want to completely reframe this for you. Tummy time isn't just about avoiding a flat head. It's your baby's very first workout. This is how they build the foundational strength in their neck, their shoulders, their back, and their arms. Every single major milestone, from lifting their head to rolling over to sitting up and eventually crawling to you across the room, it all starts right here in these little moments on their tummy. But here's the secret that most parents don't realize. Tummy time doesn't have to be on the floor, and you can start from day 1. In fact, the best way to start is also the sweetest. Simply lie back on a couch or in a comfy chair and place your newborn on your chest. That's it. That warm weight of your baby against you, their little cheek resting on your chest, listening to your heartbeat, that is tummy time. The more upright you are, the easier it is. The more you recline, the more of a workout it becomes. It's not a chore, it's a cuddle. It's a moment of quiet connection that just so happens to be building the architecture for their entire physical future. So please let go of the idea of tummy time as a stressful, timed event on the floor. See it for what it truly is, a loving, peaceful moment that lays the groundwork for a lifetime of movement and discovery. And to keep them safe on that journey of discovery, I want to leave you with a final rapid-fire safety checklist. These are the last few things to lock in. First, you don't need to bathe your baby every day. It can actually dry out their incredibly delicate skin. Just 2 or 3 times a week is perfect. Second, those baby bouncers and swings, they are for supervised awake playtime. Never, ever for sleep. The angle can cause their head to slump forward and compromise their airway. And finally, if you plan on baby wearing, please commit this to memory. It's the TICK's rule, and it is non-negotiable for their safety. It stands for tight, so they're held securely against you, in view at all times, close enough to kiss the top of their head, keep their chin off their chest, and a supported back in a natural, comfortable position. Look, the journey of bringing a new baby home is overwhelming, but I hope you see now that knowledge, real, evidence-based knowledge, is the ultimate antidote to anxiety. You are their best advocate and their safest space. You absolutely have got this. If this video has helped you feel even a little more confident, it would mean the world to me if you'd hit that like button, and please subscribe. I'll be honest, videos like this, the ones that challenge outdated advice, can sometimes get flagged or buried by algorithms. Subscribing and hitting the bell is the only way to guarantee you don't lose access to this kind of crucial information. Speaking of which, not all baby gear is created equal. In fact, some of the most popular products on the market are ones I would never, ever bring into my home. My very next video is a complete breakdown of the common baby products you should absolutely avoid. You can click right here to watch it now. I'll see you over there.